So let's talk about exponents. All right, so if you are following along, hopefully you have some notebook paper, and we're going to talk about exponents. You probably remember exponents from before last year, 8th grade. Y'all probably did them a little bit. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of definitions here. First off, we're going to have a monomial. Okay. A monomial is just going to be like a single term. So the number 5, that's a monomial. This is the coefficient. The exponent is not there because we don't have any variables. I could have 5x. This is a monomial. It's a single term. I could do 2x squared. That is a monomial. It's a single term. It could be a fraction. I could have negative 6 over 11. That's a monomial. With my exponents, I'm going to be using the word monomial a lot. Other terms that are other words that you're going to hear are the words like terms. Okay? And we've talked about like terms before. Like terms, the way I like to describe them is it's like a family. This is the x family. 2 is the coefficient. X is the variable. So if I want it to be in this family, I need to have an x as the last name. Those are like terms. I could also have 10x. I can make it negative 10x. These are like terms, and I can put them together. They're all in the same family. Another family might be the x, we'll say, to the 3rd power or cubed. Well, if I want to be in this family, I can be whatever I want in the front, the coefficient, as long as I have an x to the 3rd power on the end. This is the x cubed family. Okay? Like terms, I can combine them because they're family members. So if I want to combine them, so here we go, combine like terms. All right, so we're going to combine some like terms. And again, you've seen this before. If I take 2x and a positive 3x, and I want to push them together, they would equal a positive 2x and a positive 3x. When I combine my like terms, I would get 5x. If I took a negative 3x to the squared and I took a positive 5x squared and I put them together, negative 3 and 5, when I put them together, equals positive 2, because 5 minus 3 is 2. But the last name is x squared, and I don't change your last name. You can't change your last name. It is what it is. It's there forever. Yes, girls, we get married and we change our last name, but we still sometimes carry our maiden name. So let me write this. Do not, very important, change the name of the family. Change the last name. Okay, don't change your last name. So let's take this. Let's take 17x and then let's do minus 25x. Okay, what does that equal? Well, they are like terms. They're the x family. So when I put them together, I'm going to get negative 8. Its last name is x, so I want to be sure I keep that same last name there. Okay, what about this? Negative 23y squared plus 6y squared. First off, I know the math on there. You might be grabbing a calculator, but one thing I do know, just looking at this, these are the same family, so I know y squared is going to be on the end. I just need to do negative 23 plus 6. That is negative 17. All right, so here we go. Here comes the hard one. 10m squared n plus 7mn squared. Right off the back, you're looking at that. Is that the same family? I'm trying to trip you, aren't I? What does this equal? Okay, so when I look at it, I want to look at family names. M squared n, mn squared. These are not the same family, but these two, these are. But I'm already like, oh, what does this mean, negative right here? Well, remember, there's always a 1 right there. So I can put this one and this one together. 10 minus 1 is 9. Now remember, you keep the last name. What's their last name? It's m squared n. So I have now used those two. This guy, he's a lone ranger here. There's nobody else in his family, so I'm just going to add him on to the end. Keep everything the way it was written. And here is my answer. Okay. Now, that's how we combine like terms, which a lot of what we do today is going to be combining like terms. But I want to ask one other question that tends to always come up when we're writing ones like this. And that is, how do I write a monomial? How do I write them? How do I know which way to write them? Well, the main thing we want to know is that they need to be written in alphabetical order. Okay, so I'm going to try and write that alphabetical order by the highest exponent. Okay, alphabetical order by the highest exponent. So 4x squared y z to the 4th. When you look at this, alphabetically it goes x, y, z, right? When you sing the ABCs, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, at the end you go x, y, z. So that means x needs to be first. What I would not do is this. I wouldn't put z to the 4th x squared y. This is not alphabetical. It is exponents or highest to lowest, but I don't do that. X is always first, x, y, z. X is the, alphabetically it comes first. Then you do the highest exponent based off of the x. You don't even worry about the y and the z. You don't care what those exponents are. All right, so let me move that up a little bit and try another one. So let's take this 5z to the 8th, y, x to the negative 3. And what I want to do is I want to write it correctly. I want to write it the way it should be written alphabetically with the highest exponent. Okay, the coefficient always goes first. My alphabetically, x is first. I know it's got a funky exponent there, that negative 3, but we'll work with negatives later. I just want you to see how to write it. X, y, z, and that'll be to the 8th. So now it is written correctly. All right, so here we go. 3xy squared z to the 4th plus 7x cubed y cubed z plus 8x squared y z squared. So I had to look and see what I was doing on this one. So what I want to do, oh, I can't do that. Let me move that up a little bit. I want to put this, I want to write this correctly. So I need to look and say which one had, or alphabetically is it right? X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z. Yes, we're good. But what's not correct is the highest exponent first. So you don't even have to worry about the Y and the Z. This X, oh, it doesn't have an exponent. We haven't really talked about that yet. If there's not an exponent, it's understood that it's a 1. If there's nothing there, we know that it's a 1. Just like up here, when we were doing this one, we understood that there was a 1 there. Same thing. If it's missing, it's a 1. All right, so what's the highest exponent on the x? 1, 3, and 2. This one. So that means when I write this, I'm going to put 7x cubed y cubed z first. I'm going to mark it off because I've used it. Which one goes next? Yeah, the 8. So plus 8x squared y z squared, leaving me with plus 3x y squared z to the 4th. Now, again, you don't worry about anything other than the x's. I'm putting those 3, 2, 1. Now, this is my answer. Now, are we going to have ones that are this messy? Nah, probably not. But overall, you know, just so we have it there. Okay, guys, so that is the breakdown. Those of you that are watching this, the yellow worksheet is the one that you would go to next.